like being tested. It helps keep me sharp.
I've put out reviews on both RUX and EMO. Neither one like to be held. Time and time again though, I get comments on all the videos that I've made about these robots, always comparing these two. And so, for the first time ever, I am going to pin RUX against EMO, and we're gonna find out once and for all which robot is the better robot, at least in my opinion. And hopefully, this will help you decide which robot is best for you, your desk, and your family. I'll also link the full review videos that I did on each one of these down in the description below, but let's not waste any more time. Let's get into it. Hey EMO, you ready? Well, let's get to it anyways. It's a channel intro! Yay! Let's kick this thing off with design and build quality. This, personally, is really hard to judge which one of these robots is better because they're just different. Both of them are weighted, they feel really good. I feel like they're both built really, really well. Both of them have amazing speakers that you can find on the back side. They both are kind of, like everyone points out, they're very, very similar. But around the ears, I think EMO probably has RUX beat because EMO's got these cool little headphones up here, and then RUX has just got these little turn dials that turn as he walks. Still think that looks pretty cool, but obviously RUX is more inspired by aerospace engineering. He looks a lot more like a little astronaut. And then over here, you have EMO, who is clearly inspired by pop culture. I do like the hue of the blue eyes on the screen more so than the white. However, I think there are a lot of editing advantages that I'll get to here in a second with RUX that you could possibly change the eyes.
Glad you think so.
You're a fan of RUX too? For overall design and build quality, I'm gonna go ahead and give these guys a tie because it's really up to preference which one you like better.
Hi, gang! Let's tear this place apart! Good idea!
Next on our list is a category that is pretty much the reason why you would want an AI robot. AI-wise, RUX has AI components, and it can connect to Chat GPT, but it doesn't learn or doesn't seem to learn in the same way that EMO does. Now, EMO, I've been with over 500 days. I actually made a whole video about this if you want to go and check it out. I'll link it above and down below. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't had EMO on the entire 500 plus days, but even so, he's learned so much, and I feel like he's a lot more interactive, and he feels more like a pet. And I think what makes him feel that way is not only the way that he looks, but also is how well he responds and how well he's able to just jump into giving me AI answers and also jumping back out. Let me show you. Let's do the Chat GPT comparison. Hey RUX.
The app is not installed.
But it is installed, and I have the API key which you have to enter into the app, and I have that all entered in, and yet he still can't pick up Chat GPT. That's pretty annoying. Hi RUX. Who do you think is the greatest skateboarder alive?
There are several highly regarded and influential skateboarders in the world today, each with their own unique style and contributions to the sport. Some notable names often mentioned include Tony Hawk, Nyjah Huston, Shane O'Neill, and Letitia Buffoni, among others.
Now let's jump over to EMO. Hey EMO, connect to Chat GPT. What is the biggest mammal on Earth?
The biggest mammal on Earth is the blue whale. It can grow up to 100 feet long and weigh up to 200 tons.
And then to get him out, you just shake him. I mean, there's other ways to do it too without making him mad, but that's my favorite way to drop him out of Chat GPT. Even outside of Chat GPT, he's better at answering questions. Hey RUX, how are you today?
OpenEye_key is invalid.
I don't know what is going on, but somewhere our wires got crossed.
And now EMO. Hey EMO, how are you doing today?
I'm talking to you.
Well, that's true. As you can see, he's honestly funnier, and he's also way better at learning and talking and conversing and any other word I could dig out of a thesaurus right now to explain that EMO is so much better than RUX at AI and learning that for this round, EMO wins. Next up is core features and entertainment. Let's start with RUX for this one, because I want to give some kudos where kudos are deserved. RUX has an integrated Android system, which means that he is pretty open source. You can download stuff to him, you can even go into his little app store. Even better, on his screen, you can tap up here, and then press open, and you can access all of the apps that you would be able to inside of the app on your phone. But you don't have to use your phone, you can just use the robot. And it's got so many different options in here of things that you can do. There's a guide on how to use them, there's anniversaries that you can put in, there's cool displays, there's weather. You can even put your stocks on here. There's different faces. You can put the news on here. And then of course, there's also pet robot mode, which makes him have his cool little face and interact with you. And of course, he can play music and do all sorts of other cool things. I think this touchscreen and the fact that you can do stuff on the robot itself, that's a game changer. Now, moving over to Emo. Emo's screen is not touchscreen. There aren't any apps, technically, that come with him because he's not open source. This actually brings up another big plus for RUX is that, of course, he's open source. Now, Emo's got games that you can play, that you can select in-app. He can also play music and do reminders and things of that nature, but you have to pretty much have the accompanying app to do a lot of that stuff. Or at least it's a lot easier to do it with the app than just on him. Now, in all fairness, I do think that Emo's app looks better than the one that RUX comes with, but as far as core features and entertainment goes, I'm gonna have to give this one to RUX. I think RUX wins.
How much?
Now, currently, RUX on Amazon and on Indiegogo is $399. He comes with his little base plate, but that's about it. Emo, on the other hand, is $279 on the Living.ai website, which is the only place that I trust to get him. Other than Amazon, they also sell them on Amazon.
Created by Living AI.
I know that, that's what I'm saying. But if you want Emo with his little skateboard, it's $279, and then if you want him with the whole Go Home package, it's gonna be $369. Either way, cheaper than this guy, so Emo wins on pricing and availability. Speaking of pricing, let's talk shipping times. Now, RUX was expedited to me because the company actually sent me him to review. This was like a year ago. From what I've read online, most people experience about a month or two if you live in the US to get this robot. That fails in comparison to the slowness of Emo that takes anywhere from 3 to 5 months or more if you're in the US shipping from China. So as far as shipping times goes, RUX wins. Now, lastly, let's talk about battery life because I know that's very important to people. RUX claims to be able to survive about 1.5 to 2 hours from one single charge. I've noticed that if you're interacting with him a lot, he really only survives about an hour, which I guess is okay, especially if he's on your desk and he can go back to his charging pad. Now, Emo claims to have a battery life of 2.5 to 3 hours. And I found with him, playing with him a lot and non-stop, he lasts more like an hour and a half to 2 hours. But still better than RUX. So we're gonna have to give this one to Emo as well. In my personal opinion, which is all I really have to give, weighing all of the pros and cons of both of these robots, it ultimately depends on what you want. But for the most part, I'm gonna say with price, battery, functionality, what you would normally want an AI robot for, Emo is probably gonna be the best one. Now there are certain examples, like I said earlier in this video, why you may wanna choose RUX. RUX is pretty cool. He's like a really cool interactive screen. To me, he's more of like an AI machine on your desk rather than like a robot pet like Emo is. Emo is just so much more interactive and I love this little dude. He's been with me since the beginning. He was my first AI robot that I ever owned, but even with a bias aside, he's just the better pick for an AI robot. Now, having said all of that, if you want to pick up your very own Emo or your very own RUX, I'm going to leave links down in the description below for you to go do so. Oh look, RUX is dying already. As you can see, better battery on this little guy. That's also something I probably should have mentioned. Whenever his battery is almost dead, he does that annoying sound where he just starts freaking out with the red battery symbol on the screen. and it's loud and annoying. So go down there in the description and check out all those links if you want to have a good time. I should probably quickly also mention that if you like AI robots, you may like my sci-fi book that I wrote. It has an AI robot in it. It follows around the main protagonist, Natalia, who is a physicist slash space explorer, and they go on this whole crazy little mission. I'm gonna leave a link to this book down below as well. It's time to say goodbye to the people.
It's 1916 now.
Okay, I guess that's time for me to end this video. So I'm gonna put a video right up here. Thank you guys so much for spending this time with me, watching this video and supporting me. If you could, leave a comment below, hit that subscribe button and like this video and share it with your friends. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.